Hey, how's it going? This is Nathan Payne, and today we're going to talk about how to talk to a seller on the phone when doing deal analysis. We'll look into, how do I talk to a seller on the phone, and run the numbers while I'm talking to them, and crunch the numbers so I can make them an offer on the phone if they're ready to at that step where they're ready to accept an offer, or how do I do that call on a Zoom call where I present my information to them, or in person. So we'll dive into that. Yeah, so in my years of experience, things have changed a little bit with talking with the sellers because of COVID. I've done a lot more Zoom calls, and I do a lot of Zoom calls with sellers to make them see them face to face and show them a real person. But regular phone calls work work a lot of the time. It just depends, what the seller feels more comfortable with. A lot of sellers want you to go meet them in person, so I do that. A lot of sellers are okay with me just doing the call and making my offer over the phone. And some that are a little bit more skeptical, I do a Zoom call, and I present my screen. I talk to them face to face, and that works out well too. So either way, it really just depends what the seller is most comfortable with, what they want. I'm willing to do whichever one they want, and it usually works out well if you ask them what makes best sense for them. Yeah, so when people want to know how I come across when I talk to a seller on the phone, or on a Zoom call or in person, I come off as a consultant more than like a salesman. I'm not here to convince you for you to sell me your house. I come off as like, hey, I have a couple different options that I can provide. It just depends which one works best for you. If you want to list your home, I can point you in the right direction to an agent. If you want me to buy it, if you want to sell for cash, I can buy it. If you want to fix it up and flip it, I can point you in the right direction. I have some contacts for maybe some people who flip houses, but I come off as like I'm not biased to which situation they want. I'm just here to help them depending on their specific situation. So I'm not pushy. I let people make decisions. I don't push contracts or dates or say, hey, you have to do this by this time. I try to make people feel very comfortable, because in all reality, this is a very big decision for them, and they're going to make it when they feel ready and they feel comfortable. And if you set the stage right and talk to them and say, hey, this is, we're meeting today to talk about, if I possibly be a good option to buy your house. At the end of our conversation, I'd like for you to make that decision. And if they know that's what the conversation's about, it's all about setting the stage and letting them know where you're trying to take the call or the conversation, so they feel comfortable and they know where you're going. So, are there some specific do's or don'ts when contacting a seller trying to make a deal? I would say a specific don't is pressure, saying, hey, like my offer, it's going to expire in the next 5 minutes if you don't accept it. Like, that's not how I do business. Maybe some other people do that, but for me, like, I'm completely coming from a place where, hey, I'm presenting options and to see which one works best for you. And, if one works good for you, then let's move forward. And if it doesn't work, then, maybe I can point you in a different direction. But I think pressure is not the way to do sales. You want to come from a place where you're trying to have it be a win-win scenario. And, when I talk to sellers, like, the process of contacting them is pretty simple. It's just, hey, this is Nathan. I'm calling to see if you'd be interested in working with me for me to make you an offer and buy your house. Do you have about 5 or 10 minutes to chat? Oh no, I'm busy. If they respond that, oh, it's okay. Well, when can I call you back? I'm coming from a place where I'm not going to pressure you to sell me your house. I'm just here to buy it if it makes sense for both of us. And that's how I do sales, and it works out really well. I mean, if you follow the top sales coaches out there, they're all about being open and honest and having a good conversation and no pressure, and presenting options. So that's how I run my business. That's how I run my sales team, and that's the best thing to do. So to do is, do's are be open and honest and set the stage, have an open and honest conversation to help them make a decision and bridge the gap if there's a gap there. And don'ts is don't pressure them. Don't like try to pull things off the table. Oh, if you don't go with me right now, I'm going to like not be interested in buying your house. That's a don't, in my opinion. Yeah, so can I recall a specific deal when I realized how important my communication skills were? I would say almost every deal. I mean, my goal is to make the seller feel 100% comfortable with me as someone they would potentially sell their home to, and I think I do that as I let them know where the conversation's going. I set the stage and say, hey, this call, I just need 5 or 10 minutes of your time, and we're going to discuss if I would be a good option to buy your house, or even if selling your home for cash is your best option. I mean, there's a lot of options out there. And I think something that I do that is helpful is I've helped them find out what decision or what way to sell their home is the best for them. If they want to sell quickly, then I say, selling for cash is a good option. Have you considered listing it? Oh, and they're like, no, I don't want to list it. So I bring out all the options. And something else, I just had a deal close the other day that we just signed and we're about to close on. The seller wanted to sell his house fast, and he was asking a price that was very reasonable. And I told him, I said, hey, we can buy your house for this price, but you can probably get more if you list it on the MLS, right? Because the market's hot. And he said, oh yeah, I know I can list it and probably get more, but I don't want to. So the reason why I did that is I'm not trying to do anything sneaky. Like, I want to let people know their options, and if they decide to go with me, they feel confident about it. I don't want to hopefully get the deal and then him be like, hey, I think I can get more if I list it, and then we have that conversation later. Communication skills are huge, and being upfront and honest with them and letting them know what options they have to list it, to fix it up, to sell it to you. Let them know and let them make the best decision for them, so then you feel good about what you're doing, they feel good about their decision, and there's no pushback later. So to wrap up and summarize this, guys, communication skills are extremely important. Deal analysis and knowing what to offer is really important. But just as important is knowing how to communicate with the seller, to be open and honest and have a good conversation with them and set the stage and help them make a good decision that's best for them. As wholesalers and as real estate investors, we're not going to be able to buy everyone's house. Not everyone needs to sell their house quickly, or they have an issue or a problem that they need to solve by selling their home. Some people don't need to sell. They could keep a house for years, and it's better for them to list it. So as long as we understand that as investors, we're going to be doing well, because we're going to know who our target market is and who we can work with. So communication skills are important, and always be improving, always train daily, and that's going to be huge to your success. If you're new to investing, or maybe you just need to sharpen your skills but are struggling with finding and identifying potential investment opportunities, and you don't quite understand how to professionally analyze these potential investments in order to confidently choose the best investment opportunity to pursue, then take advantage of our free courses in the link below, where investors just like you go to learn how to implement advanced investment strategies to make money and buy deals.